A furious row erupted on Good Morning Britain as Karin Smyth failed to answer a simple question on 9 different occasions. The health minister appeared on the ITV programme just one day before Rachel Reeves unveils her plans in the autumn budget. In its 2024 general election manifesto, Labour promised that it would not increase taxes on working people. However, it appears the upcoming budget is set to go against the government's promise. Ed Balls kicked off the interview by pressing the politician about Labour's manifesto after Rachel Reeves confirmed she was going to break it. He asked, "What did she tell you last night? Are those manifesto pledges still intact? Will you repeat them today, or are you going to agree with Keir Starmer and not talk about them?" Smyth responded, "I was at most of the meeting last night. Rachel was in great form talking about what I can't talk about, as you said. The focus on the cost of living and protecting the NHS is what I'm here to talk about today." The presenter interjected, "But my question was about the tax promises. What did she say about that?" Doubling down on her response, Smyth said, "I'm not going to talk about any tax stuff, and I think you know that." Refusing to let it go, Ed hit back, "You said, as a member of parliament, at the election on a manifesto promise. I'm simply asking you, can you repeat, this morning, is the government line today that you can repeat tax pledges from the manifesto? It's a simple yes or no, and I would like you to tell me that those tax pledges are still intact and repeat them or not. Your choice." The stuttering Labour minister stood firm on her stance, declaring, "I'm not going to talk about anything to do with tax the day before the budget, and I understand where you're leading me to." The ITV host snapped back, "I'm not asking you to tell me anything about what's in the budget. I'm simply asking you, did Rachel Reeves say last night that the manifesto pledges stand, as she said 2 months ago, or not?" Avoiding answering the question yet again, Smyth replied, "I wasn't at the entire meeting last night. When I arrived, the focus was rallying the troops and talking ahead of Wednesday, the sorts of broad, brush issues that she will be addressing tomorrow. That was the focus of last night's meeting." When Ed attempted to repeat the question, the politician raged, "I'm not going to repeat anything in particular because that is where it starts to lead. So the manifesto pledges are currently off the table until the budget?" the presenter asked. To which Smyth clarified, "No. I'm going to talk about the delivery of our manifesto with regards to health and delivering those neighbourhood health centres." Susanna weighed in, "It's interesting, your answer, because what Ed was asking you was absolutely not about anything to do with tomorrow. It was about something you promised to the electorate and were elected on last July. It was about the manifesto, and we keep getting told the manifesto stands. And the question was simply, does the manifesto stand?" Refusing to answer once again, Smyth clapped back, "And the question is leading on to a number of issues and speculation and comments over the last few months which I'm not going to get into this morning." Susanna said, "So your answer is we can't stand on the manifesto we were elected on?" Avoiding the question for a 7th time, the Labour MP could only say, "Our manifesto is what I'm here talking about delivering." Ed raged, "I asked you about the manifesto and you wouldn't answer the question. I asked you a really simple question. The manifesto says we will not raise income tax, VAT and national insurance. I'm simply asking you to repeat that or not. I think you're not repeating it, which means it no longer stands. Is that the right conclusion for us to draw?" The politician could only respond with the same answer, remarking, "I'm not getting drawn into the lead-up around your question." A frustrated Ed snapped, "What on earth is the point in you coming on this program at all if you refuse to answer questions which are not about the budget? Nobody is asking you about what is in the budget tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Nobody is asking you to get involved with speculation about tax rises. We're simply asking whether you will tell us that Labour's manifesto still stands, and I think the answer you're giving is no, because you are waffling all over the place. Either it stands or it doesn't." But the ITV star was only met with the same response as Smyth said, "What I am here to talk about is delivering on our manifesto as we outlined in the 10-year health plan. I am not being drawn on your lead-up around what has been said at various points in the last few months, which is about definite speculation on tomorrow." Susanna concluded, "So some of the manifesto stands, but perhaps not all of it."